yes, The Last of Us, a game where we play as a young girl who's quite the expert at sleeping and selling
drugs. I sell hardcore drugs.
Ring, 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 banana phone.
Hey, Sarah, you need to wake up and start speedrunning. Got it? After Sarah wakes up, our job
What
is
was
to
that?
walk close to the door and open it as we are near it. Next up ahead, Volk. And as soon as you hear her mention Daddy, we need to restart the checkpoint,
Daddy?
which teleports us from here to here. Don't worry, we have just another one right here under the stairs. Triggered by the end of this voice line.
What was that?
That's quite big.
And a small one here which skips the doors opening animation. Get used to this as there are 160 something restart checkpoints that you will need to learn for various reasons if you want to speedrun The Last of Us Part 1. Now as this mad lad is inside the house, we can skip a cutscene here and fall asleep for 4 minutes during this auto-scroller car ride. Nah, I'm just screwing with you. I'll cut this part out and we can go immediately into the chaos. Cut this corner here and never go from this side of the car, as you will just get eaten. You will also want to be mindful that you do not block Tommy. Followed after this fire truck, head straight for the alleyway. Stand on the other side of this downpipe. Next up ahead, we have to change one of the alternative control settings to repeated hold presses, and then we tap square quickly or F on PC to get the runner off of us. Fast forward to the wall, we are working towards this antenna thingy and wait for the voice line. We are almost there to pop up as soon as you see the subtitles. Now all that is left to do is to run 20 years into the future. Hey there, thanks for watching thus far. A small favor, please tap that like button. I know it's hard, it's far, but I would really appreciate it. And let's continue. I am going to set everything to very light except for the enemies. This is coming into play later on once we get the revolver. The revolver will allow us to one-shot most of the enemies, so it's really, really handy. Don't worry, I will be continuing to edit this as much as I can. Just me trying to show you some things before we continue with the 20 years into the future. So as I'm gonna be for The Last of Us an any percent speedrunner, which means I can run the game on any difficulty, but I'm gonna attempt it glitchless, and I'm going to also do it without the bonus modes that are available, so it's gonna be restricted category. There is a few caveats though. So for example, I'm also gonna use this AI quality. This is gonna be set to low. Ambient character density. This will reduce the amount of characters in the scenes, and we are also gonna do animation quality low. This will boost the movement speed of some NPCs in the game. This is just FYI. If you're playing on Grounded, for example, which is a completely another kind of topic, I'm not gonna get into that. This has to be set to high, otherwise the run will be invalid. Wanted to show you some things. Also, as you can see, we have this FPS counter over there. I'll highlight it with the mouse. Has to be always visible, and your FPS has to be set to least, well, it has to be capped at 120 FPS. Over here, as you can see, we have traveled 20 years into the future, and not much here to say except for some small minor nitpicks. We're gonna go through this gate and we are going to try walk in front of Tess so that Tess would boost us. This is a small movement speed boost. After this sequence, we're gonna go back to the fully edited mode, and I am going to just not show my face too much afterwards. Just gonna do this sequence here where we are trying to walk in front of Tess.
More people are getting infected.
That just means more people are sneaking out.
As you can see, we are glitching a bit, which is allowed here because this is not a major glitch. Let's say it like that. And that's it for here. Next up ahead, once the gates close and the explosions have been completed, we are gonna restart the checkpoint as we get the control. This will skip the turning around animation and it will be really helpful to set up some NPC pathing. For example, that guy who is running with the gray cap, that guy is gonna be fully not available. Now, as we see the medkit pop up, come up, you saw it for a second. I will edit in the post. We will restart the checkpoint to skip this healing animation completely. And that's it. Bye. You won't see me. You will hear me, but you won't see me. Oh yes, The Last of Us, the peak of all walking simulators. So here's a quickened up clip of me walking every time I do a speedrun. Trust me, there's a reason I'm showing you this, because there's a, you guessed it, a restart checkpoint coming up. Personally, I am doing all of this based off Tess's positioning, but to each their own. Next up, we're gonna enter the basement and then go towards the workstation to grab our items. And as you hear the flashlight pick up sound, you want to restart the checkpoint again. The restart checkpoint will teleport us a bit ahead, and then we give Tess a slight push, climb up, and then push this weird board. I have no idea what. Once we climb out of there and grab the board again, we restart the checkpoint. The action skips the long animation sequence, and we can crouch walk to the right, and once we are through the door, we start jogging onwards. After placing the ladder against the wall, we are gonna hop onto it and see once Joel starts moving again, then we're gonna restart the checkpoint. This teleports us on top of the ladder, skipping us the long rolling animation. Afterwards, as we go deeper into the building, we notice spores there, and the tip here is to keep on crouching as Joel equips his gas mask. This is in order to not lose speed. The next part is pretty self-explanatory. Pick up some ammo, run past the infected, easy peasy. While landing, you have to keep in mind that it's more effective to go from the gate behind, as it will make a more smoother trajectory. The part ahead is fairly basic again. I'm gonna speed it up. Just keep on playing the game as it should be normally played. No big tricks here. Now as we enter this last part here, where Tess opens the door, we want to position ourselves so that our left side is against the door, so we can slide in easily. Afterwards, we're gonna walk towards the table and restart the checkpoint. Again, amazing, right? While Tess is looking for Robert, you can mentally prepare yourself for another restart checkpoint. Obviously, it is done so that as soon as you get control back from the cutscene and Joel starts moving, you will perform the action. Now, as we are moving towards the cutscene, I'm gonna yeet most of the cutscene just because it's long. I don't want to use the speed up sequence that much. So here we go.
Bitch,
Enjoy this
bash
cut.
your skull unless you turn around and get your dumb ass out of here.
Fuck this.
Now, there is two ways to do this encounter. What I do personally here is I restart the checkpoint as soon as I get control again. This makes it so I can easily line up 2 headshots after the restart. And once those headshots are done, we can restart again to teleport ourselves into the other end, straight into that tunnel over there. Now, as the disclaimer mentioned, you should not have restart encounter in the menu during that moment. Otherwise, you're gonna restart the whole encounter from the beginning, losing precious time. Okay, cool. We are going to go for the next encounter now. There is one restart checkpoint as you enter the fence while falling down. The second one is at the beginning of the command encounter as you get control back again. This is so
More
that
Robert's
the
guys.
enemy positioning will line up better. We'll try
do
to
you know
break
they're coming?
this
Two of our
down
guys died
as
trying to take
good as I
Tess out.
can, but it's kind of
Guarantee
hard
that
to
she and
explain.
Joel are on
After
their way
doing the
here right now
restart,
to get
we are
robbed.
going to climb over these boxes here,
We shouldn't
traverse
take it.
towards this door, shoot the guy inside, then shoot the one that was next to Tess. And once he is down, the last enemy should run into our arms. Quite literally. Be careful. If you miss, he's gonna beat your arse. Now I paused the gameplay for a second here, as once this door is open, we have to do another restart checkpoint. This is, again, in order to set up the enemy positioning, but it will also skip a large door opening and semi-cutscene animation. So this is like a huge time save, let's say it like that. After the combat encounter is done, we're gonna use restart checkpoint again, as the menu option has disappeared. Usually it triggers after reaching this medkit, oddly enough. Now I'm gonna replay this first part of the encounter really fast. You first have to shoot the guy who is the furthest away, then the white guy, and leave the tan fellow for the last. Now that last restart checkpoint that we did at the end of the encounter will teleport us straight to the chain. Afterwards, we have a joke encounter, at least on very light. On grounded, it's a bit more tactical, let's say it like that. But the gist of it on very light is just run to the end, shoot the last guy, pick up a med kit, and then enter the door. Easy peasy. The next restart checkpoint is while the door prompt appears, you press it and restart immediately. This will skip part of the kicking animation, recharge our sprint, and off we go speedrunning after Robert. Now I'm gonna skip huge part, as the encounter starts with a restart checkpoint in order for the enemy positioning to be a bit more lovely. It's a matter up to the preference. Personally, I just do that. We run almost to the end and shoot the ground over there. This will make it so that last card in that encounter will damage us. This is in order to do a small crouch walking exploit, which is essentially done by healing ourselves. We have to make sure that no matter the fact whatever happens after touching the door at the end of the encounter, we do not restart the checkpoint, but we keep on using the medkit to heal ourselves, cancel it, heal ourselves, cancel it. This makes us walk faster in that part. And once we are at the end of the stairs, we restart the checkpoint, teleporting us ahead with Tess and Marlene, and we are almost outside. The last trick I'm gonna share with you is us walking with Ellie. As we reach the end of the corridors or the second floor, there are some cardboard boxes on the ground. Once we walk on them at the end part of them, we restart the checkpoint, teleporting us backwards, but we gain jogging movement thanks to that. This is a small time save, but every second counts, you know. Hey there, you made it this far, to the end. Thanks for watching. Maybe you would want to hit that subscribe button so that I know that you would want the next episode. Or let me know in comments.